Hey there, Razorback fans. I'm Sydney Lemmerhurt, and today I am absolutely thrilled to introduce you to two exceptional athletes from the Razorback softball team. Meet Hannah Gammill and Kylie Brockman, whose incredible talent and dedication shine both on and off the diamond. But before we dive into their stories, let's take a moment to give a shout out to our sponsor, the Everett Auto Group. They're the driving force behind Buick's See Her Greatness campaign, celebrating the achievements and empowerment of female athletes. With locations in Benton, Bryant, and Rogers, the Everett Auto Group is all about supporting women in sports, and we are so grateful to have them on board. Now, let's jump right in. As your host for today's interviews and a former Razorback gymnast, I'm honored to guide you through the experiences and insights of Hannah and Kylie. Get ready to be inspired as we explore the world of Razorback softball with two remarkable athletes who truly embody the spirit of greatness. It's time to hear their stories and discover what makes them true champions on and off the field. So, hi guys, welcome.
Hi.
So happy to talk to you today. Could you both kind of introduce yourself, give a little bit of background about who you are, and kind of how you got into the sport of softball?
My name is Kylie Brockman. I'm a freshman from Kansas City, Kansas. I'm a catcher utility, and I just grew up playing softball. I tried other sports, but it really just stuck, and I fell in love with it from the beginning.
Yeah, awesome.
My name is Hannah Gammill. I am a senior third baseman from BB, Arkansas, and I got into playing softball because my dad grew up playing baseball pretty much his entire life, so that was the one thing that my parents kind of grew up around, and so they got me into playing at that time.
Yeah,
so.
Super weird to hear you say senior. That makes me feel super old, but it's super weird. So why did you guys pick Arkansas?
I chose Arkansas. I just fell in love with the campus, the people, everything about it. The support is just huge, whether that be from football or basketball or really any sport. I just love how everyone supports us, and I love everyone here.
Yeah, it's really cool to go to your games and see all the head coaches there, and they're really, really into y'all's sport, which is really fun to see.
Yeah. I am, like I said, from BB, and so being a hometown girl going to this like huge university and like growing up calling the Hogs has been a dream. So that's why I chose Arkansas. Was just being from Arkansas and being able to just represent your state, being from a small town is just really big. And you know, I think when I came on campus, everything just felt so real, and it's been nothing but that since I stepped.
Yeah, you're just living the dream here, basically. Yeah. Can you both share a moment in your career, whether it was when you were little or like in high school, that you realized, man, I want to stick with softball. Like I want to go to the collegiate level, maybe to the professional level, but this is what I really want to dedicate my time to.
Yeah, for sure. I would say whenever my 9th grade year, I was kind of choosing between softball and basketball, just kind of what I wanted to do, but I got put on a kind of like a more upper level softball team, and so doing that and then seeing a lot of college coaches just kind of reach out, that was kind of before the rules started, and then whenever Arkansas reached out to my coach, that's whenever I was like, wow, I would actually get to play for Arkansas. So I would say whenever I got a call from the Arkansas coaches, that was kind of my pivotal point of like, okay, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, this is real life. Yeah. Like, wow, I'm living my dream again. Yeah.
Mine is a little bit different than Hannah, just because the recruiting rules and stuff, but I always knew that I wanted to play softball at a high level, and that's always been the dream that I've chased. But with my recruiting rules, like, you couldn't be contacted until September 1st of your junior year, so I'd say when I really got serious in travel ball and like the upper level competition, and then just people and my coaches telling me that like you have the ability to be able to go be great and go be a great player at a big school, then I'm like, okay, like if you say that, like I think I can, and so just sticking with that and running with it and doing everything I could to achieve that.
It's so you've mentioned it, obviously you're from Arkansas, but for anyone that knows Hannah Gammill, she is just the example of what all little kids love and look up to, and you're so great with your fans. But what do you want, both of you, what do you want young Razorback fans to kind of remember about you as they aspire to be you one day?
Yeah, I think I would really just want people to remember like how well I loved them. I think that's the most important thing is, you know, did I love you well enough to where you only saw good things about yourself, that you didn't see anything negative. So I think mine would be loving people well, but also just that I had so much passion for people and for playing the game of softball that they would want to play with that same passion, whether it's at a big stage, at a smaller stage, at whatever stage in life you are, whether that's playing a sport or not, that you would just have so much passion in what you do.
Yeah, well, you definitely do that, so you do a great job of it.
Thanks.
I would say mine is just like a smile that's always there. Just showing little girls that like being happy is the best thing for you, and just giving them like someone to look up to in all aspects.
Yeah, because you never know who's watching, and all eyes are on you guys at the weirdest times of your lives, really. But having that smile can go a long way for some people. But how do you think social media can be used to really empower female athletes rather than the negative that we sometimes see?
Yeah, I think, I mostly use Instagram and Twitter, but I think being able to promote not just things that are going well in your life in social media, I think that having a really real background of like, hey, I'm kind of having a tough day and that's okay, and I think being able to see that, females look for the validation of maybe how their bodies look or how people see them in life. And so I think just being able to really be real on your social media platforms is really important, because I think sometimes for me as a younger girl, I was looking and I'm like, wow, it seems like everyone has their life put together on social media. It seems like all these like great athletes, there's never a bad day, and that's just not true. And so I think that really being able to see that being real and having that platform is the best thing that you can do.
Yeah, and it makes you human to these people. I mean, these people already see you as this big figure that like doesn't actually exist outside of softball, but it's like, no, I have bad days, and those are what make my good days even better. So I love that point.
To go along with that, I would say just like lifting up other amazing female athletes, like whether that's retweeting their stuff or liking it, or just like showing that you're seeing them and you're like amazed by them, and just like lifting them up in a positive way.
Yeah, I love that too, because I feel like we're always kind of put against each other, and I personally hate that. I'm all for like spreading the love. You can be empowering by empowering all, not just who you focus on. So moving on to some fun questions. So what is a standout moment from your career that you just felt like a profound sense of accomplishment, or it was something that you're just going to remember for the rest of your life?
Individual or as a team?
Either one, either memory.
Okay, I'm gonna give two.
Okay.
My individual one was actually from this year. Hitting a grand slam against Georgia was probably my favorite.
Yeah, I would say so.
My favorite moment of my entire career, I think, just as an individual, because I just felt so, I can't even explain the feeling.
Yeah.
Like just straight chills. And I would say as a team, probably whenever we won the SEC tournament at Florida, that was so fun just to be able to do that for the first time in program history.
Yeah, and if anyone watches Hannah Gammill, she is like the ultimate hype girl, but watching her hit that grand slam, like, I didn't know she was going to make it home because you were going so crazy. It was so funny. I loved it. But that's a moment you're always going to remember.
I'd say since I've been here, honestly just getting like my first start, because it kind of just like set in like this is real, and it's everything that you've worked for. And then I'd say team-wise, Hannah's grand slam, like I do remember watching back the video, and like we're all huddled at home plate, and like when she did her dance move, and like I just saw myself like go like that, and so it was just like really exciting, and I really felt like we were like one ginormous collective team at that point, and it was just really cool to experience that and celebrate that with her.
Yeah, take in those moments, like those are things you're gonna remember literally for the rest of your life.
I also always pick people up. She picked me up.
I did pick her up.
Going into the dugout, she like full on like bear hugs me and picks me up. Okay, that is like obnoxiously crazy to me. Anyways.
And you're like, that's my thing.
Yes, but the fact that she did that was like, made me so happy.
Yeah, but it shows like, hey, you rubbed off on someone, so that's good. Do either one of you have any like crazy game day rituals or strategies, or are you superstitious at all?
I do not believe in superstitions.
So, you're like the second or third softball girl that said that.
I do not believe in superstitions. I think that
is so
if you put your right shoe on every day first, I don't think that's going to have an impact in how you play the game.
That's
But for people that do that, that's great. She might have one. But
no, I don't. I feel like I'm really like chill. Like I don't have any crazy hairstyles, no superstitions. I'm just just ready to go, just show up.
Yeah, I think softball is it's like 50-50. Like literally all the ones I've talked to about superstitions, they're like a long list of superstitions. Like one of your teammates said, oh, I drank something on Friday and we won. And then I didn't drink it on Saturday and we lost. So I drank it on Sunday and we won again. And I was like, whatever works for you. Yeah. But then other ones are like, no, I don't believe in it. Do you have anything that you might like say to yourself though when you're in a tough situation in a game or maybe before you hit a grand slam? Like, is there anything you're kind of telling yourself in those moments?
Yeah, for me, I am pretty much just like talking myself up, but in a way that's like kind of against the other team. Like, okay, you're not going to beat me here. Watch this, you know, kind of like just like a fierce type of encouragement. But sometimes whenever I'm feeling like super just like down, I'm just like, you know what, like this is it. This is the last year you have. Like, go for it, and whatever happens, happens. You know, I'm not going to remember next year if I struck out against Georgia. Like, I'm not going to remember that. So I think that would be the one thing that I do.
Yeah, staying present. And yeah, you really, especially when you get to your senior year, like you realize you only get this one team 1 year. You only get this one opportunity. And I look back and I'm like, I remember only the good. I mean, there was some bad in my career, but you're like, those were the best moments. I don't care about the one wobble I had on a Beamer team. I don't really remember those. So what about you?
I say just being really present in the moment and trusting yourself and trusting your ability. You're here for a reason, and just like really believing in yourself. I think that has been the biggest thing that has helped me. So.
Yeah, that's a good thing to take you very far in your career. Who was your first female athlete you remember looking up to? And it doesn't have to be softball, but if it is, kind of talk about her.
Mine was Jenny Finch. I was a pitcher when I was little, so I had literally like 4 copies of the same exact book, and she's like obviously a huge softball name, but yeah, that's like the first female athlete that I was just like, wow, she's really amazing.
Yeah. I would say Danae Hayes. She played at Alabama. She was a shortstop, and I just remember that's like the first, I went to the College World Series growing up, and that was like, I just remember her like taking time to take a picture with me and like signing the balls that I had. So I think that was just really, it was encouraging how she played the game. So I would say that's really the first person that I remember.
Yeah, and you kind of try to emulate.
And she followed me on Instagram.
Oh,
so
that's a big deal.
Because I had a photo and tagged her in it, and she followed me. So now we're friends.
Now you're friends, and now you gotta meet up at the College World Series.
Yeah, that's right.
Final question. How would you address any haters that there might be about your sport and advocate for greater recognition and respect?
I think I would say that if you haven't seen, you know, just from the basketball standpoint of everyone knows Caitlin Clark, but I think if you haven't really watched women's sports, I think you need to do a better job of supporting people that are different from you, whether you're a male or not. I think you know, we watch MLB baseball, we watch college basketball. I think that if you're not watching women's sports, then you got something wrong with you. That's all I gotta say,
agree.
because I think that there's a lot of things that women are doing that are really empowering, really encouraging, that are getting male-dominant sports to look at what women are doing. And so I think that's really how I would address it, is you're really missing out, and there's something that needs to be addressed in your brain.
Like what you said, like the numbers are the numbers, and obviously a lot of people care about it, and we are doing amazing things, and yeah, with Hannah, what are you doing if you're not watching it? And if you're hating on us, then okay.
Yep.
Just watch.
Yep. Everyone watches women's sports. That's my favorite thing right now. Well, thank you both.
Thank you.
That is a wrap for today's episode. I want to extend a massive thank you to our phenomenal female athletes who joined us today. Your stories are the heart and soul of our podcast, and your greatness truly shines through in every word. I also want to express my gratitude to the Everett Auto Group for continuing to promote the See Her Greatness campaign. With locations in Benton, Bryant, and Rogers, they're not just in the business of selling cars, they're champions of celebrating female excellence in sports. To my listeners, I can't thank you enough for tuning in and being a part of this empowering journey. Remember, you can catch up on all of our episodes and stay connected with the latest from Everett's See Her Greatness campaign by following us on social media. Until next time, keep believing in your greatness, keep striving for your dreams, and keep celebrating the incredible achievements of women in sports. This is Sydney Lemmerhurt signing off.